it's Romy. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate you. This is the April 2020 reading for the sign of Aquarius. So if you're Aquarius sun, rising or moon, it is a general reading, but it might resonate for you. If you're enjoying my work and you'd like to support the channel, you can find a link for the extended version in the description box below or over on my website, which is romywyser.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, Aquarius, let's go ahead, put some cards down for you for the month of April, see what's coming. Okay, Aquarius, so April we have a beautiful amount of air energy coming in to support you, okay? Obviously Saturn is in your sign for the next few weeks, helping to initiate that whole restructuring of your life. We've got Mars in your sign this month. On the 3rd we have Venus moving into the sign of Gemini. She's going to be there for some time as she also moves retrograde. Then we have a full moon in Libra on the 7th. All of this helping you, I feel, to rise up and to take the higher perspective of what is unfolding around you, helping you to keep focus, helping you to make new plans, to adapt, to adjust, to cut through any of the noise, to make sure that you are protecting yourself energetically, but also allowing yourself at the same time to metamorphosize and transition with the spiritual growth that we're all really receiving at this incredible time of change right now. So we open up your reading with Queen of Swords, of course, an air sign, and I think it's you feeling, I want to say, more at ease, obviously not negating the fact that many of you will find yourself in incredibly difficult, challenging circumstances. But what I mean by that is at ease in the sense of, okay, like I know what I'm dealing with now, and now I'm ready to kind of make the plan and make the adjustment and be resourceful and be discerning and be wise in all of this. And I think that that's an important position for you to hold, because with your ability to tap into the collective, to see what's coming next, to feel into the kind of the after, if you like, it's a place where many people are going to be looking towards you. You know, you have that wisdom to bestow, you have the ideas, you have the in many ways the solutions that we should be thinking about now, that we're going to need in the coming weeks and months. And so I think it's almost like kicking you into gear a little bit with all of this air energy to be very supportive and not kind of lose yourself in any kind of lower vibrational energy. It's really important to stay on your channel, to be tuned into what you're receiving right now, Aquarius. Aries season for you is 3rd house energy, and it is all about the way that you communicate, the way that you think, and it's making those very immediate short-term plans. Now, sometimes we have to do this in the backdrop of uncertainty, of confusion, of feeling like we haven't been given all the answers, we don't know immediately what's coming next. But if we can tap into that moon energy and say, you know, by trusting in our own intuition, by listening to our higher self, we're going to know what the next logical step is. And that's actually helping you to, in many ways, strengthen the relationship between you and you to a whole new level. I mean, you're still working with so much 12th house energy, and on the 4th we have this really incredibly powerful conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto, and this activation, you know, planet of expansion, really lifting the lid on that Lord of the Underworld. It's the first of 3 happening in this year, and I think you need to pay close attention, Aquarius, to what is coming up out of that energy transit, because you need to decipher and you need to discern what is fact and what is fiction, what is illusion here and what is something that I can really work with to help myself expand and grow. Very powerful, intense energy, however also very cathartic, very liberating, and really has implications about helping you to decide how you want to show up and who you want to be, how you want to be perceived. And I think Queen of Swords is suggesting that actually you're going to have that sort of truth to be able to cut through any of the confusion that may come up via the moon. Of course, you might have a Piscean energy that you are dealing with right now. If that is the case, and they're not being as upfront or clear, or you're having some challenge around communication, again, you're being invited to sort of tap into a more patient, more grounded energy right now, and perhaps even redirect your focus until things lift and you get a little bit more clarity coming through. Queen of Cups, another water sign, possibly Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But this is also, I guess, the two sides of the coin here. You know, we can act from a place of compassion, humility, and we can invite in that beautiful healing energy towards ourselves and others. But we also need to have that, you know, Queen of Swords ability to have some tough love with ourselves and others right now, so that we don't, you know, decide to run off in the completely wrong direction. This is a time of sustainable change, not only for each of us individually, but for the collective and for humanity as a whole. And I think it's about finding that right balance, and you're going to need to intuitively keep making adjustments in the moment. Remember, third house in Aries season is very immediate planning, so it's almost like you having to take things day by day, and perhaps tapping into, you know, different parts of yourself and feeling a whole mixed bag, myriad of emotions going on for you, and just being at peace with that, knowing that, you know, you need to learn something from both sides of the coin here with this, you know. But very feminine energy coming through, and very powerful, you know, even the moon with that divine feminine. I just think this is how you're going to be of service, you know. It's the way that you're going to be able to take a stand and put your focus on what is the priority for you at the moment. So Four of Pentacles, of course, for some you might be finding either somebody around you is kind of withholding or very emotionally distant. Perhaps you're finding yourself a little bit blocked, even though you're being pushed to kind of speak up or speak out. There is an awareness about your sense of security right now, having to be a lot more careful in terms of resources, and, you know, worrying if you're making the right decisions in terms of investment at the moment, and that's perfectly understandable. But we do have a sense of security and grounded energy that I like, that comes through with that Four of Pentacles, which I think is going to help temper all of this air energy as well that's going on. And also, if you're being particularly affected by what is being unearthed by that moon for you through the course of April. On the 7th, we've got a full moon in Libra, okay, fellow air sign. So helping to bring in some more balance and a different perspective. It's in your 9th house as well. So wanting to illuminate where you are allowed to feel more optimistic, where you get to tap into that higher learning, that wisdom, and to see what you can do with that, where it needs to be deployed, where it needs to be invested, Aquarius. Hanged Man, of course, sees you in a place where you have to surrender to a certain extent into the what is of some of the circumstances that you find yourself in, right? But that sacrifice is not in vain, because there is so much that you will gain from that experience. And remember, Hanged Man is about things being on pause. It isn't an ending, Aquarius. So this isn't about you having to just give up and say, well, that didn't work, or there's no point, you know, I'm just going to walk away, I'm going to let go, I'm going to decide that there's no future for this. That's not the energy of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is coming in on a very high spiritual, divine message to say, let go, be in this moment right now. Nothing is departing, everything is on hold as you get time to pause and think about what you want to adjust, what you want to change, what you need to learn, what you want to receive. And in that time, you know, there's going to be this sense of really beautiful sacred rest. And I think for many of you, that's actually going to be something that you're really going to welcome in many regards, you know. For some, of course, on the front line, that may not be the case. But for many of you, I think that where you're going to find yourself in this kind of more restricted environment for the coming weeks is, getting chance to catch up with yourself, to actually pause and take a breath and reconnect with your body, your mind, your soul, with the things that you haven't had the opportunity to look at, to consider, and giving you that time to reevaluate relationships in your life, perhaps the projects and the things that have been important to you. And make no mistake, in that time of sacred rest, the creativity, the illumination, the time for something brand new to begin, the source of vitality and energy is getting ready to be unleashed. I think I read something a couple of days ago about the last time we had the major kind of banking crisis, the amount of new companies that emerged through that time because people just had the space and the opportunity to be creative and radical and out there in the way that they approach and think about things. And huge companies, WhatsApp and Airbnb, and just amazing kind of powerful big companies. So I think for some of you Aquarius, you're also going to be using this time to nurture. And remember, the Ace of Pentacles is about a seed, so it's the initiation, and we're right in Aries season, right? It's the beginning of a new astrological year, so things don't have to be ready and up and running straight away. This is a time where you get to have that opportunity to rethink everything, and in that pause you're going to receive some beautiful bright illumination. I think for many of you it's also going to particularly help in and around health, because I think you're going to have a radical overhaul in the way that you are seeing yourself. The health, a healthy mind, a healthy body. It's not just the physical exercise, it's just like what you're doing to support a more positive mindset, what you're doing in terms of the channels that you're tapping into, not just from a media perspective but an energy perspective. It gives you that chance to move away from perhaps groups or individuals that have been really toxic or not helpful or supportive in your life. And I think in that time when the air clears for you, you're going to get some absolute epiphanies about, how it's drained you, how it's affected you, perhaps how it's held you back. And with that, there comes a little bit of this fighting spirit coming through. But Ace of Pentacles, remember, is an earthy energy. So it's about, yes, let's tend to our soul in a very measured way, in a very nurturing way, knowing that it might take some time for this to come through, but it will be worth it. King of Cups, so we have another water energy here. Is this somebody that you're dealing with from a relationship perspective? They are very zen right now. They're very at peace. They're very tuned in to what is happening around them right now. Very deep, so they may be kind of withholding or holding back somewhat, I think, at the moment. And again, there could be some slight confusion for you, or a sense of just feeling like a little bit in limbo with regards to the energy of this person. But I think they're deep in assessment, as we all are. And what you need to remember is that in extraordinary circumstances, people have no coping mechanisms already in place for things like this. So we're all kind of feeling and sensing our way forward. And that's what King of Cups is inviting you to do as well. It's like, okay, I need to kind of go back to basics. I need to think about what I already know, what I've learned, but also to seek out wisdom, to find new gurus, to find new inspiration that resonates with me at this time, and use it to help me connect into my emotional self so that I can process those emotions, but also not lose my focus, not lose sight of, where my ships are heading out, what's coming on the horizon, what comes next. So I think he can be a very supportive, important influence if you look at the way perhaps that he's handling things in a different way, he or she, but also in the way that you have the opportunity to embody the essence of this particular archetype as well through the month of April, Aquarius. I think that is going to help you not to block your emotions, is what I would say. The Queen and the Four could be a tendency to want to just bury or go into that state of avoidance about what's unfolding, and that's not going to help you on your spiritual journey, particularly as we're working with Saturn in your sign for the next couple of years. So some of the themes coming up this month really helping to show you how we're going to be stripping back and kind of putting back together that sense of self, you know, that wise teacher that's coming in. So much to learn from what's unfolding around you. Seven of Pentacles coming in again as you take stock, as you evaluate. Please do not discount the amount of work or time or energy you have put into things, Aquarius, right? I've just got this feeling that some of you are just going to be in a bit of a, oh, what's the point, or cast something to the side. Even if there's a delay, you are going to reap the rewards of any harvest. You know, the time will come. And actually, in all essence, what you decide to put your focus and energy on through this month of April, you know, over the next 6 months or so, could absolutely surprise you in terms of what it's going to deliver, you know. So be consistent, be methodical with that. Don't give up. You know, that ace energy giving you the new ideas, the new initiatives, you know, yes, they're going to take some time to come through, but don't be dissatisfied about things not moving quickly enough. Of course, as an air energy, you want to see progress, and I think that Hanged Man and even that moon energy could have the tendency to feel really uncomfortable energies for you to work with. But I see you having so much support coming in from outside sources, from connections that you have, from people that you are inspired by, from, again, your spiritual connection, from what you're seeing unfolding to the positive right now in the collective, all helping you to move away and to release and let go of anything that is causing you this sense of stagnation. Okay, I mean, Eight of Cups does talk to us about the emotional journey that we're going to be going on. All of us are on that journey together. We're all going to cope with it very differently. For you, Aquarius, I think it's work that you're already prepared for. I see you, you know, with that Queen of Swords, just wanting to gain the experience from it. You know, okay, nobody wants to go through the hardship or the challenge or the pain or the upset of what is unfolding. But I think you realize in doing so, you're going to be able to let something go. You're going to be able to move away from something that perhaps wasn't very healthy or wasn't supportive. You're getting to know yourself on a whole new level. And I think that is going to bring you to a point of real contentment and peace. You know, there's a very peaceful energy when I look at what's happening here. Even with that Eight of Cups, I'm actually feeling quite soothed by it. You know, even if you feel like you're having to let something go and walk away or move away, it's not final. I just have this sense of like it's about you know, something needs to transform or to change. You know, you're going to come in on a much higher level. So don't fight that. Remember, Hanged Man is asking you to surrender into what's happening. Let's take a look and see what your oracle cards are to support your main reading. The Healing Temple of the Lunar Light, life cycles, energy healing, communication. Okay, well, communication being so important as we move through Aries season and you're really working with this energy, but also the position you hold as this, you know, receiver of divine cosmic intelligence that's really giving us a nod in terms of what comes next, you know, and you being able to be that beacon of light to help lead and show and inspire others. This flow of water, of course, you know, denoting the emotional journey that you are going on, and perhaps at times the feeling that it's very overwhelming, you know, but there's also a lot of calm, peaceful waters here as well. And you know, this healing temple I think is so important. It reminds me of the Hanged Man. You can find yourself in this container of peace, you know, you can carve out a sacred space for yourself in your home, in your yard or your garden, or that place in nature that you get to visit, that really allows you to contemplate and evaluate and find a deeper resonance with your soul self, your spiritual self. Again, this full moon being highlighted here, you know, unlocking wisdom within you, helping you to receive that psychic, intuitive understanding. You know, talking about the balance that will come in around that full moon in Libra if you give yourself permission and you allow that transformation to take place. Life cycles, because of course everything that we're experiencing right now is just another cycle that will come to an end. So What do you want this cycle to be about for you? Do you want it to be about some kind of opportunity that, you know, afforded you to tap into the true potential of who you are and what you have to offer the world, to see the best in people, to activate deeper kindness and forgiveness and tolerance, to come up with creative, radical solutions for us to be better humans, to evolve our understanding and to be more eco-conscious? Like, there's so much richness of possibility that comes in right now. So we have your astrological card as eclipse in Cancer, acceptance, an emotional phase or domestic development. Okay, so is there something happening in and around house and home? On the 19th, we've got Taurus energy moving into your 4th house, which is all about home and family. Again, that internal emotional landscape of emotions. And maybe there's an acceptance around the fact that we have to be at home right now, or that perhaps you're not able to be with family members, or, you know, to be in a specific location that you want to. Remember, eclipse energies are very revealing. They can be disruptive, but they bring up important spiritual truths, and they bring huge moments of transition in our lives. You know, there's always a before and after with these eclipses, and this year we've got 6 taking place in 2020, so it was always going to be a time of, you know, tremendous change and disruption, but also amazing growth and opportunity. But I think that firm focus in Taurus season, particularly with the new moon on the 22nd, is going to give you that chance to find some kind of peace or acceptance into what is going on, but not letting that stop you from the understanding that, again, this is a phase, this is a cycle, this is not going to stay. You know, the water here is very calm. You can find peace and solace in the moment and still get to plan and be excited and start to look ahead, and perhaps it will make you free to have some really beautiful thoughts about actually what you do want, and what is most important to you. Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and pull us a couple of cards now that we're going to cover in the extended reading. If you'd like to join me for the extended, we talk for another 20 minutes or so, go into some deeper messages around the main general. So if you'd like to focus on that now, if it hasn't come up in the main 9-card spread for you, and I will pull us some cards. Okay, there's a lot of water energy in your reading today, you know, so on an emotional level, you're being invited to not just go with the flow, but to be the flow is what I want to say, okay? Right, now we're going to pull some clarifying cards for these main 9 right now. If you want to purchase the extended, there's a link in the description box underneath the video. There's just a little downward arrow you need to click on, or you can head over to my website, romywyser.com. That's where the link will take you anyway, and you'll find the information there. So 3 of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords. Very creative energy, and I think that's the thing, you know, if you can direct yourself towards creative solutions and initiatives, hobbies right now, that's going to be very supportive. Full energy coming in with the moon. Nice major arcana supporting us, and the 8 of Wands. Yeah, I see there's a swiftness of energy that's going to come in as we come toward the end of April that I think you need to be poised and ready for. The Magician, very mercurial, again, this creative manifesting opportunity, asking you, what do you want, Aquarius? Ace of Wands, lovely. The Devil with the Hanged Man. Of course, that feeling of restriction could be very intense for some. Maybe there's a Capricorn energy as well that you feel particularly in limbo over right now. The Hermit as well, or a Virgo, but again, I think this is the undoubtedly isolation and kind of shutdown aspect of what you're going to be experiencing through this month of April and how you handle it. But remember, the Hermit is that wise guru. Ace of Swords. Look at all these aces coming in. I had this for Capricorn as well. It is that opportunity to, 6 of Cups, receive downloads, knowing that you are guided, you know, this pathway is being lit up for you. There's a journey though. Queen of Swords coming in again. I think this is really you right now, Aquarius, and the way that you're looking ahead down the line. Eight of Cups again, interesting. What are you walking away from? Pull that one as well. Oh, Seven of Pentacles as well. Maybe it's work and job, career, a business. But remember, it might just be about the transformation that's taking place. We'll look in more detail. Knight of Wands, is there a fire sign here? Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries? Six of Pentacles. Okay, Aquarius, thank you so much. Hope this has given you some insight for your month of April. I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Please do drop me a like and a comment if it's resonated. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any notifications. And if you're joining me for the extended, I look forward to that. So I'm sending you lots of soul-soothing, bright blessings. Please stay safe, and I will catch up with you again soon.